Guys, there's this build, this M4 build, that I call the Meta Monster. And, it's pretty ridiculous. Yeah. I think we're gonna need to talk about this. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Exfil and Hideout. My name is Ghost. If you guys have never been here before, I'm super excited you guys are here. I've been putting out 3 to 4 YouTube videos every single week, so make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss a video. Today's video is the best build we're putting out so far. Now, it is not a budget build, it is not a beginner build, it is a meta build. So what we're going for is pretty much the best in-slot items in every category, giving us the best vertical recoil, the lowest, and the highest ergo possible. And I'm telling you right now, this build is absolutely insane. I can't wait for you guys to try it. I can't wait for you guys to use it. I can't wait for you guys just to kill so many other players with it. Heck, I can't wait for you guys to die with this, just so people can see what you've built. They're gonna kill you, take that M4 and just be like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. All right, guys, before we get into the build, I want you guys to know I do stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 5 p.m. PST. I would love to have you guys by the stream. We usually have a blast, but without further ado, let's get into the build. Okay, so we're here sitting with the sexy monster. Let's get right into it. The very first thing we're going to be doing for the pistol grip is the one and only, the HK Ergo PSG1. Now, if you guys are going for that high ergo or using it for any build, this is one of the best in-slot pistol grips you can get. This is going to give us that plus 18 ergonomics, and we can get it for 26,579 rubles from mechanic level 4. I pretty much run this on all my weapons, unless I'm going for like a budget option. Then there is a couple options that you can get plus 12 and plus 15 ergonomics instead for a lot cheaper. The next one we're going to go with is the Troy Battlemags. Now, the reason why I don't go with the P-Mags and I choose the Troy Battlemags instead is because it gives you that -2 ergonomics, and the P-Mags give you -4. So technically, we get +2 ergonomics if we go with the Troy Battlemags over those. You get the Troy Battlemags from mechanic level 4 for 5,008 rubles. So it's really not that much more expensive, and you do get a little bit of boost to the ergo. So the next piece we're going to go over is the upper receiver. Now, I think it's pronounced VLTOR MUR-IS upper receiver. This is pretty much how we get that really low vertical recoil, because the VLTOR gives us that -5% vertical recoil, and it gives us also +8 ergonomics. So it's good on both sides. We're going to be able to get the VLTOR MUR-IS for 302 USD from Peacekeeper level 4. Next, we're going to be moving on to the buffer tube, which we are going to be going with the SI advanced receiver. Now, I have the red one, which is slightly better than the black one, but when it comes to the vertical recoil and the ergonomics, the price difference is completely unmatched. You can get the black one from Trader for 10,000 rubles. Now, the red one is about 60 to 70,000 rubles on Flea Market, but you do get the +5% accuracy, and you do get the +2 muzzle velocity. But when it comes to the recoil is still going to sit at -4% vertical recoil and +1 for the ergonomics. It's really up to you guys. Now, when I'm going for a really meta build, I should say, I don't really cheap out on any of the parts. Now, if you are trying to save an extra 50,000 rubles, then by all means go ahead with the black one and you'll be completely fine. Your stats will essentially be the same. Now, on top of that, we are going to be going with the HK-E1 stock, which is pretty much our go-to for all of our low vertical recoil builds. We have used this in other builds on YouTube already. You guys know that I love this stock. Many of you do as well. And that's going to give us that fat -39% vertical recoil and +3 ergonomics. And you're going to be able to get that for 103 USD from Peacekeeper level 4. Don't forget the charging handle. We're going to be going with the Raptor charging handle, and that's going to give us that +3 ergonomics. Plus, it looks a little bit better. You can get the Raptor charging handle for 8,310 rubles from mechanic level 4. Okay, so very quickly, let's go over this whole Reflex sight thing. You really don't change the stats. I brought 2 different setups for you, and I'm going to talk about a third one as well, because I know that you guys down in the comments are going to bring it up. So what I decided to do, because the Trigicon RMR is one of my favorite sights in the game, I decided to go with the high profile mount for the Trigicon RMR, and that's going to give us -1 ergonomics. You can get the high profile mount for $15 from Peacekeeper level 4, but it's for the RMR. So if you don't like the RMR as a sight, you're not going to want to use this high riser. There's a bunch of different risers that you can put on the M4 to lift up your sight a little bit. Now, the reason why we're trying to get some height on our sight is because when you run unsuppressed weapons, there is a lot of muzzle flash. There's a lot of what you call smoke and sparks, and it makes it really hard to track your target when you are engaging with full auto. So that's the reason I'm going to use a riser either way. Now, the other thing that we're going to go for is the RMR, which is one of my favorite sights. Like I said, it's a very, very simple red dot. It doesn't add any stats, which is also pretty cool because most of the sights will give you that -2 ergo all the way to like -6 and -7 ergo. So it doesn't change the sights. We're going to get the Trigicon for 206 USD from Peacekeeper level 4. Now, this is the other sight that we can run. Now, you can go with the LaRue Tactical Picatinny riser. It's not as much of a rise. As you can see, let's just look at both of them side by side real quick. Let me grab this one real quick. So as you can see, this is the rise you're getting from this one, and that's the rise you're getting from that one. Now, this one looks like it's nothing, but it actually does make a difference. So if you want, you can go with the LaRue Tactical Picatinny riser, and that is going to be 3,103 rubles from Mechanic level 4. And then the EOTech has always just been one of my go-to sights. I like it in other games as well. I like it IRL. It's just a really good sight in my opinion, but it's completely subjective because this is the thing. You guys need to understand when people say like, you need to use a sight, you need to use a sight. No, you actually don't need to use those sights. It's very important to like the sight you're using. It is what you are looking through every single time you engage an enemy target. So when you're eliminating the threat through a sight, if you don't like the way that sight looks, it's going to affect your gunplay, it's going to affect your fight, and it does with me. So don't be mad. You know, now if you like a sight that has very, very poor stats, then find a sight that you also like that has better stats. This is only going to give us -2 for the ergonomics, which I also like. So it's one of the better sights you can get. And this is going to be 185 USD from Peacekeeper level 4. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about when it comes to reflex sights is the EKP. I know the comments are going to be filled with literally anytime you mention vertical recoil, the top thing people say is, you better run an EKP. Oh, you better run an EKP. I don't like the EKP sight. Now, I'm not hating on people that like it. I'm not hating on people that run it. I've had bad luck with it. I don't like how it looks. When I ADS, I don't like how it looks. I just don't run the EKP. It's just a personal preference. Now, if you guys do want to run the EKP sight, the Cobra, then it'll actually knock off one of the vertical recoil. So you would be sitting at 31 instead of 32. So I would definitely give you that heads up. I'm not going to put it on here because I don't like the sight. I don't want to keep talking about it too much, but just so you guys know, that is why I'm not running that sight. The next thing we're going to be talking about is the barrel we're running. We are running specifically the 370 millimeter barrel. Now, before we get into the price and all that, the reason why we're running the 370 barrel is because the 260 millimeter has worse stats and worse vertical recoil in that sense. Now, the 406, you would think because it's a longer barrel, it would minimize our vertical recoil, but it actually gives us the same vertical recoil as the 370 millimeter. The problem is because it is a longer barrel, it messes with our ergo. So we get worse ergo, but the same vertical recoil. So we're going to be going with the 370. Now, if your question is, why aren't you running the 18-inch barrel or the 20-inch barrel? The reason why we're not doing that is because with the flash hider and muzzle brake, we're going to be running for this specific build that we need to get that low vertical recoil. Basically, you can't put those on the 18-inch barrel or the 20-inch barrel. So even though those have lower vertical recoil at a glance, in general, we're going to be getting more if we stick to the 370 and run the flash hider and the muzzle brake that we're going to be running. So you can get the 370 millimeter barrel for 24,500 rubles, just about, on Flea Market. Obviously, the Flea Market is going to fluctuate. So at the end of the build, I will let you guys know a price range at which I usually buy this weapon. That way you guys have kind of an idea in your head when you're building this, what you're going to be paying. That is going to give us that -4% vertical recoil and -9 ergonomics. So next, for the handguard or foregrip, we're going to be running the SAI 14.5-inch QD rail. This is going to give us that -3% vertical recoil and +12 ergonomics. You can get this for 40,377 rubles from Skier level 4. It's an amazing handguard and it looks fantastic. After that, we are going to be putting on the KAC folding sight rear, or rear sight. Folding. It folds. I talk to many people that say, oh, I don't want those on because they'll get in the way of things. They fold, so they don't get in the way. But what they do is when you pull up the rear sight and you pull up the KAC front sight, they do give you +1 ergo for having them on the gun. So that's going to give us +2 ergo. Both of these are going to be for the rear sight. It is going to be 31 USD from Peacekeeper level 4, and then it's going to be 21 USD from Peacekeeper level 4 for the front sight. Definitely put these on your gun. Going to what's inside the handguard, we are going to be running what we talked about, why we chose the 370mm, is we're going to be running the Bulletec ST 6012 flash hider. I'm going to show you a combo that's getting all of our vertical recoil essentially, and that is, this is one of the pieces. This is giving us a -11% vertical recoil, and it's just insane that this can give us that. I don't know, it doesn't really look that special, but it gives us -11, so we're going to use it. And it's going to be about 15,794 rubles from Mechanic level 4. Next, for the gas block, we are going to be running the JP Enterprises, and that is because it is +2 ergonomics, which is better than all the other gas blocks. The MK12 doesn't do anything, and then the other one is going to be a +1, I forget what it's called. And then that is going to be 8,346 rubles from Mechanic level 4. Going into the foregrip, we are going to be running the standard Magpul M-LOK 4.1-inch rail, and that is essentially just so we can run the foregrip that we want. The Magpul M-LOK is going to be 1,684 rubles from Mechanic level 4, and then we're going to run the amazing, the beauty, the Zenit RK2 foregrip. This is going to give us on every single vertical recoil build the lowest vertical recoil, because it gives you that big -5% vertical recoil, and it's going to give us -2 ergonomics. You can get the Zenit RK2 for 25,315 rubles from Skier level 4. Now, you guys know me. On this build, there are going to be times where I run the B25U because I love that foregrip, but if you want the lowest vertical recoil, run the RK2. Now we move to the other part of the combo I was telling you about, and that is the SAI jailbreak muzzle brake. Now, this, as you can see, sits inside of the handguard, just on the edge, and it's going to cover the flash hider. This combo is crazy because we got -11%, and now we're getting another -7% vertical recoil, and we're going to be getting -1 ergonomics. This SAI jailbreak is going to be 19,000 rubles about on Flea Market, but Flea Market fluctuates, and it's just crazy. This combo is crazy. -18% vertical recoil on just this part of the gun is just insane. So make sure you guys run the jailbreak. And then lastly, we're going to be going over what I use for my infrared laser. When you guys ask about it on stream, it is the Steiner Dbal. I used to run the Hollow Sun on pretty much everything. This is my new go-to because flashlights are very, very good right now. So this is going to give me a flashlight option or an infrared laser option. There's also a couple other options on there. It's a little bit cheaper. This you can get for 125 USD from Peacekeeper level 4, and it's going to give you -1 ergonomics. Now, the reason why I'm leaving this on the gun is because I don't like when I see builds on YouTube or on Reddit, and they have no magazine, they have no sight, and they have no flashlight or laser, but when these guys are running raids, all those things are on the gun, which means it's giving me a false representation of the numbers. So then when I build the exact same gun and then I go to run it in a raid, my numbers are slightly different. This is exactly how I would run it in a raid. So I want to make sure that the magazine is in, the sight is on, and the laser is on so that you guys can see a true representation of the numbers that I'm giving you. That's the only reason why I'm putting it on here, because this is how I would run it. Guys, that is the build. That is the meta monster. Now we're about to take it into the hideout, and I'm going to show you a couple things, and we're going to talk about why we decided to go with the riser, and I'm going to show you why as well. This is going to leave us at 81 ergo and 32 vertical recoil. Let's get into the hideout for a second. Okay, so first I'm going to be showing you this build with the LaRue Tactical Picatinny riser, and it's because it is a lower rise, so I want to show it to you guys first so you guys can see the muzzle flash in comparison. Now, when I shoot this, I am not going to be moving my mouse. That way you guys can see the most realistic vertical recoil. As you guys can see, it looks very smoky, but not as bad as if we weren't running it. Let's go look at the grouping real quick. Very nice. It would take very minimal vertical recoil to control this. I'm just going to let you know that right now. We're going to pull it out again. Okay, there we go. Let's go one more time. Nice. Look at this grouping. This is very, very nice. This thing is absolutely insane. As you guys can see, that okay, this is like acting really weird right now. Look at how snappy this is. But do you see how hard it can be to track in that muzzle flash? So now let's go back out real quick. Let's put this here. Let's take this off, and we're going to go with the Trijicon RMR and go right back into the hideout. Okay, so do you see the difference already, how high it is? Man, I love this sight. Here we go. So it's a big difference with how you can see over that smoke. That, in my opinion, is going to be a difference in your gunfights if you're not going to run this suppressed. Still grouping nice and tight. And that is without vertical recoil. I mean, that is without recoil control. Now, if I were to recoil control, let's just see around what it might look like. Look at how tight that can be for very, very minimal recoil control. And then lastly, let's go over it one more time so that you can see tracking in the midst of the muzzle flash. So as you can see in general, it is still kind of bad, but it's better with the riser on it. So I run most of my guns suppressed, but this build is still absolutely amazing and it completely shreds. So guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed the build. If you did, definitely let me know down in the comments. Let me know what guns you guys want to see next. I am definitely checking all the comments, responding to you guys, and we've done builds based on your guys' recommendations. This is the M4 Meta Monster at 81 Ergo, 32 vertical recoil, and I get it on average between 140 to 160,000 rubles, depending on the flea market. I've also paid 200,000 rubles for it. So it just really depends. That is usually though what I end up paying for it. So good luck guys. I hope this gun treats you well. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If this video brought you guys any type of value, make sure you guys smash that like button. It goes a long way for the channel. It makes it so that more people see the content on YouTube, and it really helps me out. I appreciate it. If you guys want to see more content like this, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, and you can always hit the little bell if you never want to miss an upload. I hope to see you guys by the live stream sometime. We just got done with a 16-hour stream a couple days ago. It was absolutely amazing. A ton of raids. We gave away a copy of Tarkov, so it was a lot of fun. If you guys want to talk about this stuff live, if you guys want to hang out, jump into some raids, or you just want to chill, either way, we usually have a great time. You guys can find me at twitch.tv/xvlnghost. All the links you guys need will be down in the description below, and I stream on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 5 p.m. PST. I hope you guys are very blessed. I hope you have an amazing day or night, depending on where you're at in the world. I hope this meta monster works well for you, and I hope you get a lot of dog tags because of it. I hope your raids are plentiful, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. He's dead.